Hi there, I'm Dr. Connor Bell, and I'm the Bassoon professor at West Texas A&M University. This video is to help you prepare the second Etude for the 2025 to 2026 school year for the ATSSB All-State auditions. This one is for number 30 in the Weissenborn book. This Etude is in C minor, which might be a new key for you. Remember, we have all of our major key friends, but we also have a lot of minor keys. So you should spend some time as you're warming up, as you're getting used to this one, working on your C minor scales as well as your C minor arpeggios, which will help you a lot with this one. This Etude introduces a couple of new articulation types. One that you may or may not have seen before. With all of our infinite varieties of articulations, we have slurred or very, very legato notes with no tongue motion whatsoever. We have legato articulation with a very smooth airstream and a very light tongue. We have regular. We have staccato, which just means detached. It doesn't necessarily mean short. It means detached, so some space between it and the notes around it. And then in this Etude, we also have what we call staccatissimo, or as short as possible notes. The very first note in this Etude has a staccatissimo indication. It's that thing that looks like a wedge. In fact, sometimes we call it a wedge. For these, for a lot of them anyway, I actually do a tongue stop articulation. So I start the note with a tongue and I end the note with a tongue and make it very short. I don't do that with any of the staccatos. All of the staccatos are on the air. And so that's one way that we can make those two things sound different to whoever's listening to our performance or judging our audition. With this Etude also, I like it a good bit faster than the printed indication. Obviously you should never play it faster than you can accurately, but this one does have one very specific challenge, and that's there's nowhere to breathe. You don't get a rest until beat 4, measure 24. So going on the faster side eventually will help you make it through there on one breath or with one little catch breath. You might be able to see how I do that. As you're learning it though, that's a good reminder that at slower tempos, you should not be trying to play everything all at once. Play a couple of measures at a time, or even one measure if it's a tricky measure, and repeat it several times in a row with a little bit of a break. And that's how you'll get accuracy. If early on in the process you find yourself running out of air, that's a really good way to know that you're trying to play too much of the Etude at one go. So break it into more manageable chunks. This is called chunking. Otherwise, with this one, it's really pretty straightforward. He gives you a dynamic indication poco forte and nothing else except for some hairpins. I do keep most of this Etude pretty strong and it has a lot of drive to it. I do make a big deal about those hairpins leading into that dissonance, that A flat on beat 2, like in the first several bars. Watch out for beat 4s in these, like in the first 4 bars, because that's where the notes change. It's really easy to kind of go on autopilot and accidentally play a measure you've already played before instead of what's actually printed. When we get to measure 5 and the pattern changes, that's where I like to start thinking of this in cut time. So instead of thinking it's much more musical and simpler to think about ya da da da, ya da da da, ya da da da, ya. And that helps you get the right kind of punchiness and clarity with those staccatissimo articulations on beat 1 and on beat 3. That's about it for this one. Keep a lot of drive and energy in your performance, and don't try to play it too fast or too much of it at once too soon. Good luck.